Hey, good morning. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Okay, so this is my check-in for hashtag 2020 quarantine 40. Checking in because something really important hit me last night as I was thinking about what I've given up. So this is a 40-day fast. And I've been contemplating what it means to fast. I'm on day 15. And I realize that what I am fasting from, right? Because you have to kind of fast from something and you have to fast to something. I don't know. I just made that up. I don't know if that's really what the theory is, but it's my theory. What I'm fasting from is Netflix, binge eating, sugar, and Netflix, binge eating, and sugar, and meat. Okay. What I realize that I'm fasting from, this is what hit me last night, is my comfort zone. Like, if I ate some sugar, I would be fine. My problem is that I'm not comfortable just eating a little bit of sugar, like a slice of cake or some raisins. My comfort zone is too much, stuffed, overdone. I'm not comfortable unless I'm stuffed. If you don't have an eating disorder, you won't know what I'm talking about. If you don't have a compulsive odor, or if you don't have a compulsive odor, if you don't have a compulsive disorder, like watching television, I'm not comfortable watching one episode of Better Call Saul. I have to watch until I've watched too much. I have to watch until I've reached a saturation point and gone beyond the saturation point. This is a problem, because it's excess. It's it's too much. And I'm kind of now in the place of exploring, well, why do I need things to excess? Well, what I know, the thing that just kind of hit me is when I go to excess with eating, I am distracted from the reason I started eating from in the first place. So a lot of times when I was a kid, I was by myself. I enjoyed being by myself for the most part, but I really missed my mother when she would leave. When my mom left, there was silence in the house, there was emptiness. And even though my mom would leave in a whirlwind, there was always, a lot of anger at me, a lot of, kind of pointing the finger at me about the things I've done wrong and the expectation of what would go wrong for me today. That was how my mother showed me love. So my mom showed me love because and this is sincere, she's like, this is a hard ass world. You need to be tough. Love doesn't last. Tenderness doesn't last. This is the experience this woman lived with all her life, that tenderness would not last. And so she was angry at that, as she should have been. That anger, that tenderness does not last, that she was abandoned by the man she loved when she needed him the most, when she wanted to give her all, and she was kicked to the curb. Yes, she had the right to feel hurt, and she did not want me to know hurt like that. So she's like, you don't need to feel any kind of love and tenderness because you cannot rely on it. Moods change, people change, situations change, things go wrong. Okay, I get that. So for me, what I understood love to be was this constant like avoidance of real pain. So you keep yourself in this pain so that the pain of tenderness and absence isn't as bad. It isn't as strong. So for me, what I would do when my mom would leave, the moment she would leave, I would go in and I would cook myself. She'd make sure I have food before I left. So she would cook me breakfast. I would have second breakfast when she would leave. And I remember getting confronted, like, okay, she would buy me a bunch of ravioli and things that I could heat easily so I could have food while she was at work and I was home during the day. And she'd come home, and instead of eating, one can of ravioli, I'd maybe eat 5 cans. And she'd be looking at the cabinets like, oh, I thought we bought, X amount of raviolis. And I'd be like, it didn't even register with me that eating 5 cans was wrong. What I was doing was eating until I got my fill. So I was basically filling up the void of my mom's absence. And I would fill it up with food and with, masturbation. I started masturbating at a really early age, and that was how I filled my time. That was how I filled my time. I am not ashamed. I was a child who had to get her needs met on her own. I'm 7 and 8 years old by myself. I did what came natural. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm not ashamed. I'm sure there are lots of kids that are out there who are in the situation that are, that have to self-soothe. And that's the way I soothe. That's how I found, I found connection, through eating and through sex. Yes, so this is why I'm fasting. I'm fasting because this is what the comfort zone is about. Understanding, and this is what fasting is about, understanding the relationship between you and that thing you're fasting from. And what I'm understanding is that television, sex, and food were the way that I took comfort. And, stuffing myself really helped me fill that void that my mom was, the absence of her was filling. And it wasn't, food was very, very nurturing for me. It still is. Food, when I eat food, and this is the other beautiful thing about this fast, is that I used to sit down and watch television and eat my meals, and that gave me tremendous pleasure. Now I'm sitting down and I'm just eating my meals, and actually the pleasure is so much higher. It's like I can actually really put my whole self into my food, and it's really pleasurable. I'm like, wow, this never tasted so good. This salad never tasted so good. And guess what? This is a long ass experience of eating this salad, because when there's no television, you're in it for every moment. And so actually I do find myself getting fuller faster, which is why I lost like 7 pounds in the first week. It's not that I was, intentionally dieting. It's that actually, I'm sitting down, I'm gonna eat this whole salad, but actually I'm done with this salad because I can't sit here anymore. I've gotten all the love I need. Okay, so yes, so that's where I am. Understanding that I am fasting from my comfort zone. And for me, my comfort zone is about too much. And this is the thing, because once a fast finishes, you get to decide what you're going back to. You get to decide what is going to be important for you to maintain. Like I did a water fast. Well, I don't know how do you say it? They call it a water fast. So I fasted. I only drank water for 10 days. And so of course, coming back from a water fast, I have to come back and eat food, right? But you have to make a decision. Well, for me, I have to make a decision about what foods I want to integrate into this newfound level of consciousness, because you change consciousness when you fast. If you're fasting properly, if you're really doing the work, your consciousness is shifting as there's an absence of that thing. Just like, the whole 40 days of quarantining is 40 days. because that's how long it takes for a system, for something old to die out in your system and for something new to be reborn in its place. So for me, I'm letting this old comfort zone die out, and I have to allow the new thing to be born in its place. But that doesn't mean, like, from where I am right now, I feel like, oh yeah, I'm going to have meat when this fast is over. I'm going to go back to eating meat. But am I going to go back to eating meat in the same way I did? No, because I won't have to. And who knows, after 30 days or after 40 days, I might be like, actually, I don't want to invite meat back into my system. I'm open to that. I'm not making a decision from where I am right now. I'm making a decision um, in the moment when the time is right, after I've done the work, after I've given all of myself to this fasting process, then I will make that decision based on my intuition and my mindset in that moment. Right. Television. I want to know what happens in the next, or the next season of Better Ask Saul. Or what is it called? Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul. I love that show. Netflix shows so good. But the thing is, am I, from where I am right now, even today, okay, I'm 15 days into this fast. If I were making a decision about how to bring Netflix back into my life, I could not, from where I am right now, I would not. I have to say, I will not bring it in because I don't feel detached enough from the compulsion of watching all of that and being all consumed by the show. I binge watch. If there are 12 episodes, I'm going to watch all 12 and then I'm going to hunger for the 13th. Okay, I'm going to watch all 12 until my head spins, or I'm going to watch as many as I can. I may not watch all 12 in one day. I might watch 6. Okay, watch it in 2 days. Okay, I'm going to watch it until my head spins. That's the nature of an addict and a compulsive person, someone who's obsessed, who can't let go and can't stop and can't control themselves. Okay, that's the nature of a compulsive person. So I cannot, right now from where I am, I cannot make a decision. I cannot invite Netflix into my life at all. I have to actually detach from my relationship with Saul, Better Call Saul, okay? I have to wait and see. Ideally, what it would be balance. Ideally, what I would have is balance. I'm going to watch one episode and then I'm going to let the episodes stretch out over 13 weeks. I'll watch one episode per week, and because my life is full of other things and I don't have a hunger for, something that's missing. I'm not using Better Call Saul to fill me up because I don't have my own relationships, you see, because that's what happens inside me. I don't have my own relationship, so I get fed by television relationships. This shit's heavy. Our psyches, are really amazing. Life was so much simpler before technology, before we had instant access, before we had immediate gratification. All right, I'm signing off because I have work to do. I feel like that, have you watched that Benito video where Benito, I can't remember what this boy's name is, but he is so cute. He's really beautiful. He's a beautiful guy. He's a beautiful girl, but he dresses up in drag and he does the astrology, like the quarantine through the astrology. And he does the Capricorn. And he says his imitation of the Capricorn is like a guy and he's sitting down at his computer and like the people in the background are making noise. And he's like, some of us are actually working. And he's just got this really superior attitude. It's just really a funny ass video. I should put a link to that in the description if you haven't seen it, but you probably have, because there's so much good stuff circulating right now, so much excellent comedy circulating right now. And yes, by the way, hey, by the way, I will watch a little bit of humor, like the Benito thing, for 2 or 3 minutes every day, because number one, it lifts my spirit. Laughing for me is really important. And especially right now, I need the laughs like big time. So watching those is fine. I don't have a compulsion to watch a whole bunch of those things after another, one after another, because they're very short. And when it's excellent quality humor, I get full very quickly. So I feel satisfied, you know? And there's not a story. So a lot of stuff for me is story. I won't watch story stuff, like a story today and then tomorrow and then another story building. I won't do that, because that gets me too connected. Like, I'm like, you got to be up in your story. Who are you? What's going on? Who are the people? What are they doing? How are they doing? How are you going to handle that? Because that's relating to me. I understand you, right? That's my compassion. Like, oh no, I can relate to you too much. Okay, I'd be all in it, like all Downton Abbey. I'd be all up in everybody's life, all living back in another era. Okay, another country, another era. That ain't even my own stuff. All right, now I'm signing off, okay, because now I'm going crazy. Talk to you later. Thanks for watching.